Oh, absolutely. That's why I wrote it. That's why I'm on the air right now. I'm practicing the code right now. The code says you're supposed to be doing 4 things. That's in the economics. If you look in the economics, you'll see every non-white person, every minute of every day and night, for the rest of their existence, is supposed to be doing one or more of just 4 things. Economics is the use of time and energy, by the way. That's why I put it under economics. And it's just 4 things. It's real simple. And I'm doing number 2 now of those 4 things. And what is number 2? It's exchanging views about ways and means of getting rid of racism and producing a product called justice. And what is that product called justice? According to the compensatory definition, it means guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help. And number 3 is eating and sleeping correctly and only as necessary. People are talking about health. That's under economics. Use of time and energy. Health is about the use of your time, the use of your energy. That is a part of the healing process. How do you use your time? How you use your energy? That's why it's under economics. There's 4 things, and I'm talking about number 3 now. Eating and sleeping correctly and only as necessary. And number 4, sexual intercourse, but no more than twice every 7 days. And then number 2, like I cited a while ago, is exchanging views about ways and means of ending racism and or producing justice. Because if you're doing anything to treat people correctly, you are helping to end racism right there. The racists don't like that. Rather than running around shooting up the neighborhood and all like that, if you're trying to help somebody in your neighborhood do anything of constructive value, the racists do not like that at all. They like for a black neighborhood to be full of people who are full of fear, first of all, of other black people. Why? Because the other black people are doing things to make them fearful. You can't go out on your porch. You can't sit out on your porch on a Saturday afternoon and just rock and whatnot without some bullets flying by and all like that. Or somebody engaging in some drive-by shooting, because the white supremacists have set that up to keep these people in turmoil. Don't let them have no kind of chance to just rest in peace. I mean, while they are breathing. They can only rest in peace while they are dead. Okay, so you exchange views about ways and means of eliminating that type of activity. I mean, and that's number 2. And number 1, under the use of time and energy, is producing things. We produce very little as non-white people. Some non-white people will begin to produce things, copying after the white supremacists, but that's okay, because we got to start somewhere and all like that. But get in position to produce something of constructive value. I always say people should lose their so-called living room, not as the place where you just sit around and hang out and look at television and invite your friends over, or your associates, and look at television and drink beer and eat popcorn and high-five and do a lot of that. That your so-called living room, if you have one, a lot of people, with the way that the white supremacists are acting now all over the world, they don't even want black people to have a roof over their heads at all. I mean, you spend all your time trying to get a roof over your head. But if you have a place that you call your little space, be it ever so humble, where you just usually sit in a chair and look at television and all like that, well, just call that your ingenuity room. Because that should be, stop calling it a recreation room or a living room. That's what we usually call it, or a living space. What do you mean by that? Well, call it something else, and that might inspire you to do something else. Ingenuity room, meaning when you walk in that room, try to think of something that will correct a problem. Problem-solving room, you might call it. If you're not familiar with the word ingenuity, it means problem-solving. Coming up with some new ideas of how to solve a problem. That's what you should be thinking about when you walk in that room and the whole time you're in it. Have some books in there, or even a television set. Mm-hmm. Learn from whatever you can with what's going on television and say, now, if I'm looking at a movie, which I look at a lot of movies, I'll say, now, what is the lesson that I can take away from this movie? What is it that would help me to solve a problem or help me to pass on to somebody else to solve a problem?
Yes.
So you have to make use of your resources right in front of you.
Okay.
Why? Because that's where you are. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got to be someplace. Try to look at everything around you and say, how can I use whatever I'm looking at? Or take in some information about what I'm looking at that will be in a problem-solving mode.
Okay.
See, as collectively, I want to underline this right quick.
Okay.
As collectively, as victims of racism, black people should walk around every day with 2 words in our minds. Just 2. Problem solvers.
Problem solvers.
Problem solving.
Okay.
That's it. Problem solvers. So that we get to be known for that everywhere. You see a black person coming, those people used to be some of the biggest problem makers in the world. But now, all they think about doing is problem solving in the most constructive manner.